Now, back by popular demand, it's the Lance Roberts Show.
And welcome to this morning at 6:07 as we get your hump day edition of the Lance Roberts Show underway here. I know it's early. Got all day to go, but it is Wednesday, so just we get through the day, and we're on the downhill slide from this, so it's all good. A few things going on, of course. Monday, the markets were closed because it was President's Day, so yesterday the markets were actually open. Markets were up a bit yesterday on some news that the trade deal deadline of March the 1st was extended. That's not really news. But this is the headline that everybody's attributing to the market's 4-point gain yesterday, because why are you laughing?
What passes for news these days?
I know, right? I mean, for the last several weeks, Donald Trump's been saying that the March 1st deadline really isn't like a hard thing. It was just as long as we're in negotiations. But apparently,
just a suggestion.
It's just it's not. It's one of like Obama's red lines. It just kind of moves. But yeah, no surprise is that the deal was on March the 1st. Tariffs were supposed to go into effect. Had no deal been reached, but they're in the middle of trade talks. So, of course, they're going to extend the deadline while they're in the middle of conversations. But somehow that was news yesterday because there was really lack of any other reason, I guess, for the markets. But a couple of things that are happening that are very interesting right now is that, the market was up yesterday. But the real surprise yesterday was a sharp surge in gold prices. Gold is considered a very defensive issue, and something that is more concerning when there's concerns about rapidly rising inflation, a currency issue, or just kind of a defensive move out of risk assets. Gold had a very, very big move yesterday. Bonds also, Treasury bonds also had a big move yesterday on the positive side. Yields falling again. And, of course, yields, just remember, last year, yields were up over 3.2%. Currently, yields back down to around 2.6%. And by the way, if you're thinking about buying a house, mortgage rates right now are back down to some of their lowest levels that we've had historically. So if you've been thinking about buying a house and you worried you missed your opportunity last year when rates started going up, you might want to go lock in a rate and go buy a house because rates are actually right now. In fact, I just got a quote the other day. Adjustable rate mortgages right now running about 3.75% for 10-year money. So,
well, here's a fun
pretty
fact.
cheap.
We bought a used car over the weekend.
You did?
Had to replace the Jeep.
Oh, really? The Jeep died?
The Jeep died.
I'm sorry.
I am too. I really didn't want to let it go. But
I know.
anyway, usually you go to the dealership and the dealership can run circles around the bank's financing.
Mm-hmm.
Not true.
That's not true.
My bank beat the dealership rate by 2 points.
I know. I
was shocked.
Yeah. That has a lot to do with what banks can borrow money for versus other people.
There you go. Yeah.
What'd you buy?
We bought a Nissan Murano.
Really?
Which your bride has, I believe.
No, she likes it.
Oh, she does?
Yeah, she actually drove one. She went to Dallas for one of her business outings.
Yeah.
And no, I'm sorry, it wasn't Dallas. It was Chicago. And when she was in Chicago, she had to rent a car to drive, and she rented the Nissan Murano, and she loved it.
Yeah.
And which isn't her. That's not a her type of car. So she's snooty. So.
We were surprisingly impressed.
Yes, and she was too. So yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
So did you buy new or used?
Oh no, 3 years old.
Yeah, see, there you go. That's smart.
3 bags full.
Get rid of all that depreciation right up front. That's the right way to buy a car. These people run out and buy brand new cars. I'm just like, you just lost 25% on that.
I get it. I love the smell. I love a virgin car.
Right.
But this one's in good shape,
and
the price was right, and that's how you do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I forgot totally where I was.
Oh, we're talking about bank rates.
Oh, bank rates. That's right.
Yeah. Sorry.
You totally deviated my train of thought here.
To get you back in the right lane.
I know. Correct. I'm sitting there going, I need to trade my truck in now. But anyway.
That truck does it come with its own zip code?
Yes, it does. I'm in Texas, right? So,
yeah.
It's a quick story, right?
Yes.
So I used to drive this little SUV that I actually bought for my wife. So I bought my wife this SUV.
Mm-hmm.
because she wanted a little SUV to run around in. So it was a little sporty SUV. It's kind of her thing, right? So I buy it for her. And so we get it home, and so then I'm going to go buy a new a used truck to drive to work because it just, people just, when you park in a public garage, people just don't care about your vehicles. They just ding it up, they bang it with the doors or whatever. So I never buy good cars because I just drive to work, I do my thing, I go home. That's pretty much it.
They don't call them beaters
boring.
for nothing.
Right. I'm boring.
Yeah.
So there you go. So I just drive home and be done with it. So I'm going to go down to the used car dealer and I'm going to buy just an old beat up pickup truck to drive to work because I'm in Texas. So we drive trucks in Texas. So my wife says, "Oh, I'll go with you." This is never a good idea. This never works out well. So I've just bought her this little sporty SUV she wanted, and we went down to the dealership. She loved it. We bought it for her. She's great. So we go down to the used car dealership. It was an AutoNation. And so we go down to AutoNation. I'm looking around, and I find this little Toyota pickup truck. I said, "This is perfect. I can drive it to work."
Little?
Little. It was little. It was little. No, not the one I'm driving now.
Okay.
Not the one I'm driving now. I'm talking about little. So I go. So I'm going to buy this truck. My wife says, "I hate that. You're not buying that truck." And I'm like, "Honey, it's just to drive to work and drive home. It's going to get great gas mileage. It's like a 4-cylinder, right?"
Besides, she's not going to drive it.
She's not going to drive it anyway. But she's like, "You're not buying that."
You're embarrassing her in the neighborhood.
I am. That's what it came down to. And so she's looking around the lot and she finds this 4-year-old Range Rover with like 20,000 miles on it. She goes, "We're buying that one." And I go, "Okay, fine. I'll drive that to work. No big deal." So we buy it. And I get it home, and I'm going to start driving this to work. She's going to drive the SUV. So in the morning she gets up, she goes, "Oh, take the SUV to work." And I said, "Okay, fine. I'll drive it to work." I come home, and by the time I get home, she's already put her license plate on the back of on the Range Rover that says CC Roberts, which is her, which is her license plate. And somehow I wound up with this little bitty SUV, which was a rock magnet. This thing would catch. I replaced 4 windshields in this thing in a matter of about 4 months.
Yep.
And I was like, screw it. So traded it in on a big 4-wheel drive Toyota pickup truck that has its own zip code. So, but you know what? Nobody messes with me.
That's right.
Curbs are not a problem.
Mm-hmm. And fewer rock chips.
And I have no rock chips.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Now you completely ruined my whole opening of the show.
Oh, but it was fun.
We'll be right back. I got stories to get into. Don't go away.
Get daily investment news you can use, delivered at the speed of the internet. Sign up for Lance's newsletter now at lancerobertshow.com.